Good morning, everybody. On this morning's video, we are going to be doing part 2 of the reptile room hacks to save you money and make you a better reptile keeper. I got some really cool things to show you guys today. You guys are going to love these things. You absolutely cannot do without these items. These items will completely change the game for you. So if you're interested in learning about that, stick around. Good morning, everybody. We are filming in the snake room today. It is like 7:30 in the morning, so we got the sun shining in on us, showing off all the dust on my little plant table over here. Anyways, the first item I wanted to talk about today is going to be 3 different items. These hooks. Hooks are essential for keeping snakes, and especially venomous snakes. But you know, I use these hooks too for these large crebos, and the boa constrictor down here. I use hooks for pretty much everything because snakes have teeth, and I don't like getting bit. So the reason I have 3 out here is these are my 3 most used hooks out of them all. This one here is a 32-inch long Venom Life Gear hook. This is what I use for most of my big venomous stuff. All the rattlesnakes, all the adult rattlesnakes, I generally use this one here. It keeps my hands far enough away from the animal so that I don't get bit, but also it's not, you know, some of these hooks you see are like 50 inches long, and I think personally that is too long because once you start getting too far, you start losing your dexterity and your mobility because it's just so far out there. You won't successfully be able to reach your other hand around and tail that animal. So that's this one here. This is like a really, I don't know, I think it's like 24 inches long. Living art. It's a ball python hook, but it's really thick and sturdy, and it's got a nice thick hook up here. And I use this for some of my medium-sized snake. Like I use this here for my cottonmouth. Excuse me, my cottonmouth. My boa, because my boa is only like right around 4 feet long, and I don't need some gigantic hook for her. And I use this a lot of the times, especially if I have to like, if for whatever reason this log in the back over here like fell down, I'll use this hook to try to move it around. So yeah, that's this hook here. And then the hook that I use more than anything in the entire world is this little mini Venom Life Viper hook right here. This hook, I just always find myself using this hook for anything that's not an adult. I mean, all these adult rattlesnakes and the adult vipers, I'll use, you know, a bigger hook. But I mean, all my like my yearling 2-year-old rattlesnakes, all the neonates, the gaboon viper, my copperhead, the squam. I use this little mini Venom Life hook. So when you're getting into venomous snakes, well, any snakes really, but specifically venomous snakes, definitely plan for getting hooks. So if you're going to be buying, you know, you're starting out and your first couple snakes are going to be babies, you probably don't need this giant hook. I mean, I would probably buy it anyways if you can afford it. They're not too bad. They're like 40, 50 bucks, something like that. But if you can't afford it, just get the size that your animal is going to come in. That's pretty important. If you're buying a 5-foot long gaboon viper, and that's the only snake that you have, don't buy this small hook. You know, buy something big, probably even bigger than this, like with a bigger loop. So, you know, there's tons of hooks out there online. To be honest with you, I have homemade ones. I have ones that friends have made me. I have some that I've got off eBay, like this one here. I bought these 2 Venom Life ones in person. from Chris and drawing a blank on his name right now for some reason. Oh, and Brent and Chris from Get Hooked / Venom Life Gear. So anyways, yeah, that is the first item on today's list is going to be these hooks. The second item, well, there's a couple items, but the second thing on today's list is going to be a cleaning solution. And this stuff here is veterinary grade disinfectants. It's safe for the animals. You know, it's not going to cause any harm. So this one here is what I use. This is chlorhexidine. I don't have no idea, diacetate or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this here is what I use when I bring a new animal home from a show or from a breeder or wherever, or I get it in the mail. What I will do is I will take a tote like this and I will fill it up, you know, with about 2 inches of water, and I will put 1 to 2 drops of this in there and kind of swish it around a little bit. And what that does is that will kill any sort of mites or any sort of bugs that might be on your snake. And I will soak this snake for a couple hours in that, about 2 hours. So my procedure is I get home, I'll fill up a tote or a tub or a bucket with a few inches of water, depending on the size of the snake. And I will soak that snake in nothing but water for at least an hour to help rehydrate it. Because if you're getting something imported, or, you know, the breeder traveled a long distance and the animal has been in a little deli cup for a few days, they start to dehydrate pretty quickly. And so it's really important for the health of an animal to make sure they get hydrated quick. So I will do a hydration soak. This is all not in the snake room, by the way. I don't bring any animal into this room until they've gone through these 2 soaks. And that's specifically because I've had mites before and it's not fun. And I have a lot of naturalistic enclosures and I don't want to get any more mites. So yeah. So anyways, I will do that initial hydration soak. And then I will take that water. I will then add 2 drops of this and I will swish it around to make sure this gets diluted throughout the water. And then I will soak that animal for 1 to 2 hours and then come back and evaluate the snakes. And I've had it before to where I had a snake in that tub and I soaked it for 2 hours. I came back and there were dead mites floating all in that tub. So then, you know, that obviously told me, hey, this animal cannot go anywhere near your reptile room. I had to set it up in a quarantine tub, put it in a different room. So yeah, this is just a little preventative measure I use when I get a new snake home, is I will soak a snake in this with that. Then this here, and from what I've been told and the research I've been doing, is even when this is diluted into the water, if you only use like 1 or 2 drops, and the snakes drink that water, it is perfectly fine for them, is what I've been told. And it's the research I've been doing. I've also been using this for years. I mean, it says it expired in 2020. So, you know, I've had it quite a long time. And as you see, you know, you keep it for a long time, but it still works. Because I just used it not too long ago, a couple weeks ago. And yeah, so I don't use this to clean my enclosures. What I use to clean my enclosures is going to be this, which is the other chlorhexidine solution, chlorhexidine gluconate. And what I do with this is I fill up a spray bottle, and then I'll fill up a spray bottle with water, well, like 75% filled with water, and then I will add kind of like a capful, basically like a capful of this chlorhexidine solution, maybe a little bit more, until it gets about this clear bluish color. That's kind of how I go about my ratios. I don't measure it exactly, but there are directions on here. And it's a veterinary grade disinfectant. It's like, don't use, Lysol in your animal enclosures. I mean, I'm sure you could if you let it dry and everything like that, but this is a veterinary grade disinfectant and it works. It's how I clean down my enclosures. When I do like a full clean out, I'll clean it down. I use that when I'm doing deep cleans of all their water bowls. I will, take everything out, dry it, spray it, and then everything gets re-rinsed with water before it gets put back in. So that is that. That is the second item on our list for today. Now, the third item on our list today is, all right, so that is the second item on our list today. We've got our snake hooks over here. We've got our chlorhexidine cleaning solutions here. This item 1 and 2. And item number 3 we're going to talk about is something that you might not even really think about. It's kind of just, I mean, if you've been keeping snakes for a long time, then this is going to be a no-brainer for you. But if you're fairly new to it, then you might not really even think about this. But it's going to be gloves, sterile, either latex or nitrile gloves. I like these hyper tough ones from Walmart. They're really, really cheap. They're just like a couple dollars for the box. They're black, and I like black, so it's way cooler than the blue surgical gloves. But yeah, they're nice and I think these are like made for mechanics, so like the fingers are a little bit more durable than like gloves that a nurse would use or something. But yeah, these gloves will make you a better reptile keeper, and these will save you money. Just because you're not having to go out and you buy these hyper tough ones. It's the cheap Walmart brand. You don't have to go out and spend money on. I think there's like Venom gloves or something like that. They're like 3 times the price of this. They don't work any better in my experience. So yeah, anytime you're cleaning enclosures, cleaning up poop, use this. If if you have to pick up and work with a snake, especially a snake that's like a new snake that's still in your quarantine room, use your gloves. I use these all the time for everything. So that is number 3 on the list. All right, number 4 on the list is something that often gets overlooked in a reptile room, and that is going to be monitoring your temperatures and your humidity, the ambient temperatures and humidity inside of your room, not necessarily inside of your enclosures. However, they do work inside enclosures. What I'm talking about is a digital thermostat or thermometer. Thermometer, hydrometer. These are these little handheld ones here. These are the Govee ones that I got off of Amazon. It's like a 2-pack for like $24. You can set these in an enclosure, or you can do what I did here, and I put hook and loop on the back of this, and I just have it Velcroed over here because I want to be able to monitor my temperature from right here. And then this one here is generally just sitting over here up on top of this. And so this here is really important because keeping a good ambient temperature in your reptile room is very beneficial to your animal's health. I'm not going to get into the debate on ambient versus direct heating, but even if I were to be using other heat sources in my enclosures, I would still want to keep the room where all those enclosures are at an elevated temperature, at least 70 degrees. You don't want to have a room where it's 50 degrees and then you have individual cages that you're trying to keep heated. It's just, one, you're going to run your electrical bill through the roof. And 2, it's just, in my experience, not beneficial to the animals, and health problems start arising when you do that. When the air temperature around your animal starts dropping off pretty quickly, it isn't good for them. So anyways, number 4 on the list is going to be one of these digital thermometers. You can set them wherever you want. It measures the humidity, it measures the min and the max that it's ever reached. It tells you the max temperature that this thing has ever read, and then the minimum temperature it's ever read. And this one here, I mean, sometimes if it's sitting right here, and the sun is hitting it in the morning time, it'll spike up. But yeah. And then, also over here, I have another one. This is like actually like a thermostat, but I don't have it plugged into anything, so I covered up the where to turn it on at. And then this is just monitoring right here. So yeah, that is number 4 on the list, and number 5 on our list directly ties in with the digital thermometer, and that is going to be a heat measuring gun. You can take this gun, point it at anything, and it will tell you the temperature of it. Point it at the floor, 76 degrees. Point it at the roof, 79 degrees. Point it at this wall over here, 77 degrees. Down here, 73. And, you can really see spots in your room where you have hot spots or stuff like that. So this here is like, I paid $19, I think, for this on Amazon. I'm not really even familiar with this brand, but it's just really, all you do is squeeze this trigger, point the light, and it'll tell you what your temperatures are. Also, another really good way to help make sure your animals are getting the heat requirements that they need. If I told people, oh yeah, I keep my entire room at ambient, and everyone's like, oh, well, they don't have a hot spot, this, that, and the other, and I shine over, and my animals are sitting around 80 degrees right now in the wintertime. There aren't many places on the planet that my snakes are from that it in the wintertime is getting any warmer than 80 degrees. I mean, even in South America and stuff right now, in the wintertime, you're still like around 80, 83. Like, you don't get that much hotter, and that's only during peak daytime hours. So anyways, that's a debate for a whole nother day. So yeah, to recap on the 5 things that we talked about today, we talked about hooks. Snake hooks are essential tools, especially when working with venomous snakes or large snakes that have big teeth. Your chlorhexidine solutions, you know, it's kind of self-explanatory. You need to be able to clean things, keep things sanitary. Your nitrile gloves to also help you with keeping things sanitary and clean. And then your your digital temperature gun, along with a way to just quickly monitor the ambient temperatures in your room, so that you can just, at a glance, you can just look over and say, oh yeah, okay, cool, yep, we're around the temperature we need. Oh, look, humidity is a little low right now. I need to water my plants and add some more water to the humidifier and get that humidity spike back up. So anyways, those are the 5 things I want to talk about today. We will be doing probably 2 or 3 more of these videos where I'm just going to be breaking down just all the different types of nuanced things that I use to help make my reptile room work. So thank you guys for watching. All right, everybody, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for sticking around to the end. If you guys liked the content I brought you, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I upload again. Also, if you guys are interested in some of my merch, please check the merch link down below. Consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you guys next time.